Do you like hot garbage? You got a project at home that you want to get on the road but you don't got the cash to spend? Let's show you how we can figure that out. This is my 68 Dodge Coronet, and as you can see, she's pretty nice. But she hadn't ran in quite a while, so we're gonna get this thing back on the road. Now you gotta check this thing out to really see the beauty. It may not be on the outside, but what you see on the inside will blow you away. Also, we named him Cornbread, the Coronet. Please be nice to him. He's very self-conscious about the way he looks. Thank you.
Cornbread, 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 cornbread.
Feast your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beauty in the making. Now, I know she may not look quite the best here right this moment, but it's gonna get better, I promise. It's been sitting for who knows how long. But check out that. That is the fun part right there. Now, what's going on under the hood? Well, that may or may not be a problem. More than likely is, as you can see, the hood doesn't really do anything anymore. But up under here, there is an engine. How much of one is left? Not a lot. But it sure is a cool looking car nonetheless. I want this thing to be a screamer. I'm talking ripping gears, spinning tires, you name it, this car should be able to do it. But it's not going to do it in its current form. Obviously, we've got a lot of work to do. If you remember the Valiant that I rescued from the woods that had been sitting for like 40 plus years, this car was on the same property. This thing didn't get any favors from Mother Nature, but that stops today. It's not official without a Roadstoration sticker. We're not worried about a restoration, we just want to get it on the road. Link is in the description below. So when I bought this thing, we put it on the ground because it didn't have any wheels on it, I don't believe. But thankfully, the drums actually did something. We're gonna put some wheels on it real quick so we can roll it inside. Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, based on where this car was, when we unloaded it, all the wheels roll. Like, that's not normal.
I haven't seen it moved yet.
And well, you might not actually. Look at there.
Wow.
Doubter.
That's nice, I gotta say.
Rare, ain't it?
Get the dirt off of the studs, you know.
Watch yourself, these will slice you.
Yeah, I noticed that. The old burners.
They've been burned, all right. You think this door is gonna be all right, or is this just like extra ventilation?
It's more airflow.
Yeah.
Help the engine to cool down a little.
It does that, don't it? Do we have 5 lug nuts?
Just 4. Those are broken stud.
I mean, how many do you really need?
2 max.
The studs are so rusted that the lug nuts don't want to go on. It's gonna look good on wheels. A lot of noises. Oh, it's basically restored at this point. Look at there.
Brand new tire. All the tread.
No steering wheel, so I'm gonna do the old trusty vice grips. Will it not turn?
Nothing's happening.
Oh boy!
It moved a little bit.
Here, stand back. I'm giving it a swift kick. What the heck? Nothing happened. That's not good. I didn't know that was a problem.
I didn't either.
How does that even happen? I sure hope our transmission is going to hold up because the inspection cover has completely rusted away.
That's not good.
No. I mean, the good news is our frame rails still look good, at least up here. You know, where the engine is held together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a manual steering box. I've never seen one just freeze like that before. I wonder if somebody pulled it by the tie rod or something, but it don't look like the tie rod's bent. That might be a little bit of a problem. Not too sure if you knew that or not.
Who needs to steer? I mean, we're going straight anyway.
Gah. Hey, Briar, that's bad. Nothing's happening. Really just need to get this hood off, don't we?
That would help. That's good.
Well, we were doing a little looking around and we're thinking that the steering box or the column itself has just frozen up completely. Interestingly enough, it looks like the previous owner had stolen a Coronet RT grill or a Super B grill Somebody stole the little emblem out of it, but look at this. This is a factory air grabber hood. All of that's there. Scoops are there. I noticed the scoops, but this is the first time I'd ever picked the hood up. I didn't realize it was a factory air grabber hood. That's awesome. It's not original to this car. That is all original stuff. Pretty rare. This is fun. I love it.
Nice and slow.
Slow and steady wins the race. I'm afraid we've gotten in over our heads already, and we haven't even started yet.
Hopefully not.
Sir, did you order the Coronet?
I don't think I want it anymore.
Well, I need somebody to sign. Could you sign this paper for me?
I just work here, man.
Just sign this paper
I
for
just
me.
work here too, I promise.
Sir, I need you to sign this paper for me.
Hey, you bought it, didn't you?
So what are the necessities? We've got to actually do brakes. That's a big deal right there. Got to make sure we can stop before we can go. Next, we need something to power our engine. So of course, a fuel system is in order. Obviously, we need an engine, so that would be a big deal. We got to make this thing run. That's if our transmission works. Got to wire everything, so there's no telling what's wrong with this thing as bad as it looks, but we got to work out the electrical, and we can't let it overheat, so cooling is a big factor in this one. We're doing gnarly burnouts, we got to have something that'll spin the tires, so gears, but it may not be in the budget, so who knows. Speaking of a dollar amount, what is the full budget? $2,500 smackaroos. That is it. And the bad part is that if I divide 2,500 by all these out, that gives us roughly $357 each. So we're going to break this down into 3 different categories for our pricing system. Some things are just going to be straight up full cost. Like if we got to buy gaskets, if we've got to buy this or that, we're going to have to attribute that to, hey, we had to spend this, therefore it goes to the full cost of the build. The second category is partial cost. You know, something that I purchased or something I already have, we're going to attribute that and say, yeah, this is what the percentage of that would be worth. Like for instance, if I've got a clutch over here that we're going to be using if the 4-speed works out, and I want to say, well, I did buy all this new, but it is technically used. So if I saw it on Facebook Marketplace, I'm going to count it as like a percentage of the total cost of what it would be new. Then at the very end, things that are going to be free. So things that I just find laying around. And if we go over the budget, we have the option to sell items. So if we pull something off the car, we're like, hey, this might be worth something, or we might be able to do something with this later. That is value added back in that we will be able to put towards that $2,500 total. Is this going to be fun? Absolutely. Is it going to be really hard? Yeah. Now, a quick little disclaimer. I paid $1,000 for this car, but I'm not including that in the budget because you might have spent way more or way less than what I have in this car. The only thing I'm trying to prove is that you don't have to spend a ton of money to have a lot of fun in an old car. You might have something in your shop or behind the house covered up in a tarp that's been there for years, not running. I want to show you that you can do it, and you can get a little bit of money scraped together and have so much more fun than you realize. And on top of that, the prices that I'm going to be listing in this video, you may find it cheaper. You may find it way more expensive. It's all determined on what the car is, the availability in your area. I'm just basing it on what my experiences have been and being super patient. Now this stuff I've collected over years of working on these old cars. It may take you some time to get some stuff together, but if you are persistent, you don't give up, and you are constantly searching for these parts, you can do exactly what I'm doing today. You getting the good side?
Which side is that? I don't think there is one.
Hey now.
I'm sorry, Coronet.
Whoa.
I apologize. This side is
Whoa.
so beautiful.
Don't insult my Coronet 500, okay? So again, this is a 68 Coronet. As you can see, there are multiple different colors on here. This appears to be the factory green, and it was green with probably green interior, and then at some point possibly painted blue or purple, and then it got painted orange. Wait a minute, why is that the same color as the hood? But no, this is a factory 318 two-barrel car with a 3-speed on the column. I decoded the VIN and it tells me all that. Why is that the same color as the hood? but then the car got painted orange and it has a vinyl top on it. Oh, wait a minute. It was, okay, there's the factory color for the hood. You can see it was this bronze color. So they painted it this color, but for some reason left this. It could have been black, honestly, and it just faded to purple.
I think it's been every color.
It honestly has. The inside,
It's there.
not much to speak of. They had a blue bench seat in here.
That is demolished.
I've never seen
The worst seat I think I've ever seen.
Never seen one do that. But the weird thing about it is, as bad as this car looks, the floors are pretty solid. I don't know how. He did have it up on blocks, so that might have helped save it, but the floors are actually decently solid from what I could tell. Now, I say that for the inside of the car. The best part about it, really, the factory trunk delete.
Bam! Weight reduction.
So yeah, you know what? There's not a trunk, so we really aren't going to be hauling anything with us.
I think we'll be doing good to get the car down the road.
Oh, you were going that far?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know what's possible at this point, because I don't even know how you're going to hold the trunk down, because
They
the whole
gave us
support's
a
gone.
beautiful ratchet strap right there.
Oh, nice. Oh, so we're good.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's all you need is a ratchet strap for the trunk. Check out this chrome. Ooh.
Shiny.
That must be 500. And I think it was an AC car because the glass is tinted. Oh, this door don't open.
Please don't tell me.
Well, that's your door, so I don't have to worry about it.
Drats. I'll just have to break the window, I guess.
I guess so. That's fine. Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. Figured it out.
Oh, you did, huh?
Figured it out. Let me tell you a little story. So the guy that I got this car from, he had a 68 Coronet Hemi car, 4-speed,
Whoa.
with a supercharger. And it was I've seen the car personally. I witnessed him driving this car down the road. I mean, he pulled into a store like it was a daily driver. The quarter panels were cut out of it, had zoomies going out the side, had a giant supercharger, and it's a factory Hemi car with a 4-speed and a supercharger. And I think it's still around here somewhere. When he passed away, this was another car that he had. Guess what color that car was, Briar?
No way.
That color. It was that color.
Oh, the bronze.
It was a bronze. So guess what?
We've got his hood.
We have a Hemi car hood. Best that I can guess is that's what this car came, because it's a 68 Coronet or RT or whatever he had, or a Super B, and it's this color, and I have the hood for it.
Big money right there.
So is this a Hemi car?
Close enough.
Close enough. That's all you need. Probably swap the hoods because he wanted to cut a hole for the supercharger on that car and then left this hood untouched because it had all the air grabber stuff on it. But this is a factory Hemi hood car.
The more you know.
The more you know. And you know what? That mounts to nothing because the hood's junk. But we got it. We're going to get this ultra rare Hemi hood off real fast. About 50 grand, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The hinge doesn't want to do hinge things.
I got you. Don't worry about that.
All right, you round it for me.
This side doesn't have a door handle. Is that a problem?
Ratchet strap it.
You know, this was going a lot better until it decided to only turn to the right.
You know, it was going great until we got the car.
Yeah, when we didn't have to worry about it.
I don't think it should be that hard to do.
No, it shouldn't.
Well,
Let's go up on the roof. Yeah! Woohoo!
one solid piece.
Let's go. We're under the car. The floors, how they look, Briar?
They're all right.
No, brother, they're immaculate. What are you talking about? Have you seen the rest of this car? These floors are fantastic. Considering what this thing is, so good. Like, there's no rust that I can see at all until you get to the trunk. The trunk is obviously the worst part. There's 8 3/4. The fender tag said 294 sure grip. I like it. The frame rails, at least where they count, look really good. Briar's working on motor mounts, and I was working on getting the 4-speed shifter, everything out of the way. The clutch, I don't know if the shifter's gonna work or if the clutch pedal itself is gonna work. We had no trouble at all with that one motor mount, but Briar cannot get that other one to come loose without a breaker bar.
It's getting ugly.
It is, yeah, severely bad. I decoded the fender tag and it told us quite a bit. Now, this car was a factory 318, and that's what we have here. But it was a 3-speed on the column. It was not an original 4-speed. You might be able to see right down in there, I know it's a little dark, but there is the original bushings for the 3-speed shifters. So, That means that this car obviously had a 4-speed put in it, which is really cool. So it's really nice, but my guess is that this is obviously the original engine. And you can see the original paint being that metallic green. So we're pulling the original engine out, and it's bad. We couldn't get the distributor to come loose. It's stuck in there. It won't turn. So I just pulled the cap off, and we'll hope for the best. The engine's locked up. The water pump is even locked up. So the hood being elevated like it was, especially in the front and back, allowed water, trees, and everything just to fall down in here and lock everything up, which is surprising because the rest of the car is held together, shockingly enough. But I just wondered maybe they were robbing parts off of it because there's no radiator, no fan, no anything else that we had to really remove, no bracketry except for, the alternator bracket. But everything else was pretty much gone. The only thing we had to do on the top side was remove the spark plug wires and then do the motor mounts. That was it. So when we jacked the car up, I pulled the shifter out, got everything out of the way, and the cross member undone. It was simple. The only problem I had was I could not get the Z-bar unbolted, but I've got the clutch rod loose, but I could not get that to come out. So what I'm going to try to do, pick the engine up and just scoot it out sideways to get it out of the Z-bar itself. And another little fun fact is when I was decoding the fender tag, if I read it right and did it right, this shows a 294 Sure Grip. Both of them spin. I haven't checked that yet, but how cool is that for a 318 3-speed and a 2-barrel? A Sure Grip? Pretty neat. So we're going to actually rob that and probably use it for something else because we've got some better gearing in mind for this old rig. The only issue that we had really was that bolt down there for the mount decided to break inside the mount. So we ended up having to pull the mount away from the block itself. So we'll worry about getting that out when the engine's out of the way. But now we have our chain on, transmission cross member is pulled. It's going to be fun. What do you think, Briar?
I hope it comes out easy.
There you go. I don't think it could have been more perfect though. Scraping the core support, scraping the firewall. Whoops. Hang on one sec. I can swing it. Well, no I can't. Just keep on going. If it'll let you go, then go. Come on, baby. I want the 4-speed. Watch it stopper. Heck yeah. Only a giant puddle, no big deal. That sucked. That was not fun at all.
Now we can really mess with this thing.
So check out the inspection cover. It's completely rotted out. The starter, this bolt, did it break or did it just hold stuck him out? That's the Z-bar that was holding us up there. It came out on one side on the pivot, but the other side's stuck. Who knows if it'll actually work. The exhaust rusted in half on this side and the other side, and I really hope that our shifter mechanisms decide to work. It looks awful. I couldn't get the distributor out, so that held us up too. It's completely unbolted and it won't move. Did you say you wanted it?
I don't think I do want it now, looking at it.
Well, our transmission is on the ground, but we noticed this. We have an ear broken off on one of the mounting bolts. There's still 3 in there, but one of them is missing, so hey, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. That bolt is not wanting to come out. Nice.
Oh, that was bad.
Well, here's the hard part. I gotta catch it. There ain't nothing light about that bad boy.
Hey, I'll get the heavy piece. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. I want to see how long it takes him to notice that there's 2 forward-facing bolts. So far, he hasn't noticed. I'm not gonna say a word, but I had to walk away because I'm laughing. Before you wedge that in there, would you like me to give you a little tip?
What did I miss?
You want to check the 2 rear-facing bolts?
Yeah. I thought about it, but then I was like, I never pulled a manual, so I didn't know the belt housings both had those.
I was gonna let you go, but then when I saw you about to wedge that sucker in there, I was like, yeah, I better not.
I wasn't gonna go far with it.
Just until it broke in half. Just pulled off the old oil filter. If you guys can guess in the comments what brand this is, let me know, because I can't see it. Look at the rat's nest in there. I got a peek of it. Oh, it's stuck on the flywheel for that inspection plate. throwout bearing came out in 2 pieces.
It's just gone. It's tired.
So unfortunately, this engine probably wasn't going to run. Got a rat's nest right there, flywheel that is stopped up. Now we just need to throw this thing away.
Paperweight.
Basically, there's nothing usable on this thing. Watch it be like beautiful on the inside. Oh, not bad.
No, not bad.
Check that out. This is the original Hurst shifter. Well, it's not original to the car, but it is a B-body shifter, meaning it probably came out of some Roadrunner, Coronet, GTX, you name it, and it does not work. I mean, I can't get any of the shifter rods to move, none of the levers move, so I'm going to take my lightning bolt blaster and just spray everything down and let it sit for a little while. I'm not going to be in a hurry. We're going to let this kind of take its time, come back loose, spray all this down, and hopefully next time we come back over here and mess with it, it'll start to wiggle a little bit more and a little bit more until we can use it again. And with a little persistence, get everything working. Look at there. So all these are moving independently of each other. I need to spray a little bit more on it to really get it to make sure it stays that way. But I also got the levers to come free too. Well, we had a combination of chemicals here. I used some brake parts cleaner here because there was this trash all in between the shift levers and everything. We got first. That's first and second there. And then over here, third and fourth. I can't get reverse to quite to work. The lever goes back and forth, but I can't get it to go all the way in. But we have all four gears, and I guess that's all that matters. So there's first, second, whoop, and second's a little sticky. There it is, second, third, and fourth. And neutral, and the shifter bounces back like it's supposed to, so it's got tension on it, so I think it's totally usable. Well, as you can see, the car doesn't want to turn, so I've got a sledgehammer and a junk wheel. We're going to try and just hit it as hard as I can.
Don't be scared.
Are you ready?
Oh my gosh, I think we just lost 50 pounds of dirt.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but that's stuck.
Yeah, it's solid.
Hasn't moved yet.
That tie rod works. It moved a little bit. The idler arm is, I think, is moving. Oh yeah, it's moving.
Okay.
It barely, but it moved.
So it's definitely the pitman arm then?
It could
the
be
steering box?
that or the box still.
Easiest thing to do, we'll pull the steering link off and just see if that is it and if everything else moves outside of that. We wiggled the column and it seemed like it wanted to move, but we can't rotate it the right way around to get the roll pin out.
Nut right here looks awful.
You think it's removable?
I'm about to find out.
What segment is this?
Am I even under it? I can see straight through it. Okay, back under the sunroofed car with Briar.
Nice!
I love when, my car's growing trees.
It's environmental.
It's something.
You could call it eco-friendly. Oh, there you go.
I don't know if I'm going the right way or not. But
As long as you're going a way.
go your own way.
Who sings that?
I always get it mixed up with Any Way You Want It, and that's Journey.
Correct.
But I can't remember the song I was singing, Go Your Own Way?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I definitely should know this. Probably listened to it here this last week, but I'm drawing a blank, I don't know.
Oh. Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that now.
No, you didn't. R.I.P. to your body.
I know I'm gonna close my eyes anyway, even though I have glasses on.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. I'm not even under the car and I got hit with stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm covered. Dang it.
Your pickle, sir.
I hate pickles.
I have come for your pickle.
Can you say? So I need to do the tie rod first then.
Yes.
How about it?
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, so we've eliminated that. There we go.
I've been pelted.
You're covered in it. Oh, you've become one with the Chrysler products. Give her a good thwacking. Other way, goober.
Oh.
Is the spindle stuck? You gonna try to hit it with a hammer now?
Let me get out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's all down my shirt.
See that?
No.
There we go. Oh, I see. It's this cotter pin right here was replaced at some point. And it's rubbing the inside of the spindle, so I'm gonna bend it down. Look there, good as new. So I'm gonna pull the steering box. Briar's working on pulling the steering column. We're gonna slide this all out and rotate this coupler so we can drive the roll pin out of it and get them separated. The good news is that we have replacement parts for both of these, so we'll factor that into our budget, but it's used parts at the end of the day, so I just really hope that this works. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the box is fine. I think the pivot arm's moving, I can't really tell. So the column's locked up. We just pulled the column completely out because the coupler is shot. But look at that. So the steering box is fine. It's something wrong with the steering column. I pulled the fill plug off the steering box, and you're supposed to put grease in it from what I've read. I don't want to pull this cover off and mess up the adjustment. Some people say you put gear oil in it. I'm just gonna fill it up because it's bone dry and anything is better than nothing. But look at there, it's actually working. It's just got a hard spot in the middle, and I wanted to make sure that it was properly lubed. It sounds awful. So we can put a little bit of that in there, just some kind of fluid. Anything's better than nothing. Got my bucket here. I'm gonna put a little bit in there. Oh, that's too much. Whoops. Perfect. Thankfully for us, we've got a whole parts column. This came out of a 70 satellite. Briar did most of the grunt work. You all right?
That was a fight.
Well, we got it out of there. The only difference is that it has the key in the column, but we can make that work. And that helps at least because we got a new key. We didn't have a key before, so there you go.
That helps a little bit.
It does help a little bit. So let's go ahead and slide her on in there. What do you think that's worth?
This?
100 bucks. 100 bucks. He said it. I said it too, so that means it's 100 bucks. It helps that it's blue too, right?
I like blue.
That's extra points.
It might match. I don't know.
It matches our broken seat. Look at there. Beautiful. Whew, that was a lot of effort. But the good news is, look at all this. It's bolted back in. Our steering box, perfectly fine. Our steering column now works. It's bolted back in. And it's, I guess, technically an upgrade because it now has a working key that locks the steering column. So, turn the key off. Look at there. So, I mean, yeah, there's a little theft protection, but look at this. Steering wheel, what a fun thing. So that was a lot of effort to make that happen, but it finally does work. So I'm very happy with that. But the thing is working on this car under the dash, miserable. Only because of all this trash that's in here. And I'm gonna have to get up under there eventually because I've got to rig up all the steering column wiring because it's a totally different setup. I don't wanna be laying in that. So next thing, we're gonna get this thing back on the ground, clean out the interior, get all the engine bay cleaned. I don't need this going down in carburetors because that's all still piled up on every bit of inner fender. Never in my 84 years on this earth have I seen a seat more awful than this one. The bolts, they just let go. Like they didn't unscrew or anything. I took a pry bar and just picked up on the bottom of the seat and it broke loose from the floor. Look, there's the seat track. It just came off. So the bolts didn't do anything. They're actually still stuck to the floor pan. So they just ripped right through. On this side, one bolt broke right here and it just came right out. The other side, I had to cut the nut off of the bolt to get it to come loose. So this side didn't do as bad, but look at the seat springs. I mean, golly, like that's nothing left. So, wow, oh, it just fell off. Okay, so there you go. As bad as this looks, look at the rear seat. Why is it so nice? Now that the floors are all clean, we got to get a really good look at how nice our floor pans are considering the condition of the rest of the car. We did have some holes in the passenger side, but really this is the worst of the damage and it's a totally usable floor pan. And thankfully we don't have to worry about anything in the rear, underneath the seat pan. All that was good to go. The back seat actually turned out to be very nice. No data sheet underneath there, I did check that. And here's a grill that I actually put in the car myself. I was storing it over there. Look at all these bottles that I found. They love Sundrop, Coke, RC, Double Cola. You name it, this thing had it. We also had the original carburetor, which is pretty nice to have. We're not reusing that, obviously, but we got it. Now, if you watched a couple videos back, we actually pulled this out of my 1972 Dodge Swinger. I put this in that car probably 12 years ago, and it was bad. So this thing runs fantastic, but as you can see, it's filthy. It's covered in oil because this thing would blow oil out the dipstick tube because it would have so much pressure built up. The cam bearings are shot, so you have to run 2050 in this thing to actually get some kind of oil pressure. Even at hot idle, 5 PSI. So we consider this engine worn plumb out, but it has a good camshaft. It's got a good top end. It's got valve springs. It has a decent timing chain at some point, but it's been stretched to oblivion. But it's got a Comp XE268. Did head gaskets, intake gasket. It's got an Edelbrock Performer RPM intake on it. We just have to go and swap a lot of stuff over as far as like timing cover, water pump. So there's a lot of things that have to happen for this engine to actually fit in the car, but I think we can make this thing work. Now, how do I classify this? So if I were on Marketplace, I would be looking for a 318 or 360 engine. Now I've gotten these engines basically from free all the way up to however much you want to spend. Now typically if I saw this engine said, hey, this thing has an aftermarket comp cam and a good intake on it, but it's got low oil pressure, needs a rebuild, probably could see $500 to $800. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say, yeah, I talked him down. I'm gonna pay $500 for this bad boy because obviously it's missing all the front end right here. It's gonna need an oil pan. It's gonna need manifolds. It's gonna need quite a lot of stuff to make it work. I think that's a pretty good baseline for what you would expect to see an engine like this run. I mean, we've bought complete vehicles with this exact same setup, took the engine out of it and then sold the rest of the vehicle. So, you know, you can kind of play around and mix and match, but around here, if I see an engine that is considered, hey, you need to rebuild it before you run it, $500, honestly at max, but the cam and the intake really kind of bump the price up a little bit. So I think that's a good middle of the road. So again, this is a 79 block, 360. It's a really great running engine. It's just every time you wind it up, it blows oil all over the engine. Like the intake is completely full of oil. So what I'm gonna do is open the shop door behind me, pressure wash everything off, just get it nice and clean. I painted this thing orange like 4 times and it finally just peeled off and it's covered in oil. I'm gonna try and spray a little bit of Dawn mixed with water all over this thing. We'll see if we can bring some of that orange back. I'm gonna bet money all of it's gonna blow right off. But you know what? We don't care. You've heard of rattle can rebuilds. This is a high pressure water rebuild. All right, let's see how much paint survives here. Oh boy. Not a lot. Yeah, let's clean those exhaust ports. Woo! Wow. Wow, fully rebuilt for next to nothing? Sweet, consider it done. What about all the water inside the engine? That's just extra lubrication. We're not gonna worry about that. Well, we're stealing parts. As you can see, this is an engine that you might recognize because it, well, came out of that car. But we're gonna talk about this project in a future video. This is something that we're working on in the background, but we need parts off of it. So we figured we'd steal the clutch and flywheel because this car is going back with an automatic. But this clutch and flywheel is perfectly fine from McCool, and we just need to steal it. It's an entry-level clutch, but it worked awesomely. It's a 10.5-inch flywheel, no problems with it whatsoever. It's technically used.
It is used, but very few miles on it.
We'll do 75% of the cost since it's used. And I'll put that on the screen right now of what these go for, like right now, or what I paid for it. I don't even remember. And heck, it might not even work. The 4-speed in the other car might be junk. So we may end up like getting our money back on this. And this was just a stock replacement flywheel, and that should just buzz right off. I think we used ARP bolts too. And we're not going to count that to the budget. Don't tell anybody. I don't even know why I use those. Well, I made a goof. This engine is externally balanced while this engine is internally balanced. Now, you know, we stole the flywheel and pressure plate and clutch off of this 318 to put onto this one. I forgot about the flywheel, so it needed to be an externally balanced flywheel, and I don't have one. So what we're going to end up having to do is use the 318 we took all the clutch stuff off of. Now, as far as making it fair, though, this is a 318 with a comp XE268, just like this engine. I'm going to take the intake off this one because it's a nicer unit. To be fair, since, I mean, I was going to have to pay $300 anyway for a flywheel to use this engine, we'll just call this one an $800 engine. Plus, it's got, you know, our pulleys, accessories. It's got a mechanical fuel pump on it that's stock. So I think adding $300 to this one will make it fair. We really want to hear this thing roar to life, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we got to put the flywheel and the pressure plate and everything back on this one, and then hopefully we'll be able to drop it into the car and put these on it. So that's another thing I got to mention. I traded for these for a set of headers on a different project. If I saw these online, I would think they'd be like $150, $200 for a set of used A-body headers. That's the thing. They're actually for an A-body, but they should fit our B-body. Now, if that doesn't work, we can just take that off the budget. But I think a $200 set of headers ought to be pretty nice, don't you?
Absolutely.
It ought to sound mean. We stole the RPM air gap off the other intake. Don't mess it up. You're not helping.
Beautifully done.
That's just how I roll, brother. Well, here we are. The engine's ready to install. We have our mounts on. I actually had to modify this one, so it only had a bolt hole for this and this one. Guess the block's different. You can see how it's supposed to mount right there. I ended up having to drill a hole on this side to get it to mount, and it worked, so no problems there. We've got our headers on. These are for an A-body, like I said, and I really hope that they work. This side is super dirty, so I'm going to try and clean it up before we put it in. It doesn't really matter to me. They were already painted when I got it, and it's not in the budget to paint these things, but they clear our shifter linkage, the Z-bar, all that stuff. It looks like it's going to clear. I hope the torsion bar clears. That's the only side I'm a little bit worried about, but we were able to get our clutch and flywheel back in there with our new throwout bearing, so all that's installed, and we have our oil filter back on, plenty of room to do that. And the oil pan was already a carb pan, so it'll drop right in place and we'll be all right. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing in here. The intake is dry. We've got all of our fittings in where we wanted them. The Z-bar, I still couldn't get it to come out, so we're gonna have to install it the way it came out, but I figured if I don't have the transmission hooked up, it should be a little bit easier because I don't have to swing it up so nose heavy. So we're just gonna drop it in level and then swing the Z-bar in place. I got to thinking about it, and I think the center link for the steering rack goes in between the headers and under the oil pan. So I went ahead and popped it back loose just in case. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal. It took all of like 5 minutes just to pop that back loose. A little insurance just to make sure, because I don't want to be fighting that thing. I may regret trying to put this thing in with the headers bolted on. We're going to try it anyway. Probably should have tilted the engine back in here. These headers go so far up behind the bell housing. Might be a little bit of a pickle here. I don't think we can do it. And the good news is I couldn't care less if we scratch something. It does not matter to me whatsoever. Slow and steady now. Please just get around that steering box. That's all I ask. And the torsion bars. I don't want to have to remove one. I'll put manifolds on this thing in a heartbeat. I'll be honest with you, I just wanted the headers because they look cool. This ain't gonna make any power. It don't really matter. I just wanted it to make cool noises and look like awesome. And it does do that. I can put it in kind of sideways, which we're gonna have to do that anyway for the Z-bar. Okay, we're clearing at a 45-degree angle, but we're clearing. Oh boy, oh boy. What's happening? What do we hit? Oh, okay, and stop. Now we're wedged in sideways. I really should have tilted the engine back just a hair. That would have helped me out. This is such a tight squeeze. Okay, now we're touching fuel pump, so I need you to scoot back some. Ooh, we're cooked. We are absolutely cooked. I've always installed headers after the fact, so now that I know, we'll know for the next go around. You know, for whenever I blow this motor up and have to put another one in it, which I really hope doesn't happen. Now we clear. A little tiny barb fitting gave us just enough room so we can get past it. The alternator, though, might be a different story. Oof, that's going to be a doozy right there, I'm afraid. Dang it, let's pull the alternator. It'll take but a second. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Now we're facing the right way. I think we can make it. Rubbing the balancer pulley, but I don't care. Whoa, that's a lot. Whoopsies. All right, now we gotta get the Z-bar scooted over. We're almost clear of the steering box. Okay, that works too. Whoops. You know what? Dang it. I forgot to take the freaking bell housing bolts for the transmission out. And now they're stuck up against the firewall. Scoot everything back just a hair. I think it's just laying in there now. Hey, will you just stay? Yeah, it's just gonna stay there. So we're gonna pick you back up. All right, installed. No, I'm just kidding. Let's pick it back up at an angle. Maybe that'll help us. Now we're cooking. Oh yeah, we got room now. When you don't have to worry about paint, things get a lot more fun. I might just take the bell housing back off, honestly. Your eyes and say she's in love with him. Can't find no better man. There we go. I'm sweating. It's hot in here, ladies and gentlemen. She lies and says she's in love with him. Can't find no better man. She dreams. Oh, wrong way. All in the name of headers, ladies and gentlemen. Looking back, it probably would have just been easier to put them in after the fact, but I didn't want to do that. Bell housing, get out of there. You've been evicted. You're no longer welcome. You know what, guys? It's gonna work this time. I can feel it. Clear the torsion bar on that side, but now we're barely clear on this side. So we're just gonna slide her on back. We may have to pull the passenger side back off, I'm afraid. Header's supposed to go up under the torsion bar, and we're just not clear enough yet. That works too. Weird how gravity works. Now it ought to just fall right back in there like I could live. You don't have to fight it anymore. Oh yeah, look at there. Easy, like it was nothing. That's all we needed. That's too easy right there. Well, we'll just focus on one mount at a time. So now we know for future reference. Just take one header off and put it on later.
Well, now that we have the engine and transmission set in their final resting places, I'm going to start putting all the front accessories back on. And to start, it's the alternator. There we go. Passenger side in.
Well, here's the thing: whenever you use used parts that really aren't meant for the car, you got to kind of modify it. So these headers were very, very close. We had them bolted in, and the steering link goes right between the headers. And at full lock, both directions, it was hitting. So I marked it with a Sharpie right there, and we're just going to put a little bit of a modification dent, if you will. You know, it's more cosmetic than anything. So don't worry, just don't get upset about this. It's fine. All right, this is precision. We've measured accurately, and it's going to be right about there. One for good measure. Does it taste hot? You tell me. Ow! So this is the original starter solenoid that was on the car, and I am shocked to say it works. Listen here. So when I pull this power wire off, it's triggering it. That's going to a 12-volt source, and I wanted to make sure I was getting power out here. So whenever I take the battery lug and trip it over to here to get power to it, look at this. We're getting 12 volts out of right there, which is what triggers our starter. So that means this works. So I'm going to clean this up real quick, because that right there is the ground. It needs to be cleaned. Get all the terminals cleaned up so that it works and it doesn't like cause any issues. But I am shocked to say, as bad as this thing looks, it works. Well, here's a status report. As you can see, the 4-speed shifter is in and it's working. We got the cross member bolted in. So that means the transmission and engine are permanently mounted. No more removing. So you saw us fight the headers. We got all that sorted out. We had to clearance one of the tubes for the center link because it actually goes through the header. Once we got that sorted out, they fit fine. So I put new gaskets on it, got everything bolted in. So those are tight. Then you saw me working on the starter solenoid. Got all that bolted in. Got all the wires back where they're supposed to go. The old battery cable was broken and really green on the inside, so I found this one on a truck. It works, I think, so we're going to use that, and I'm going to get the ground cable off of the same vehicle. I had to fix one cable in, but that's it. I mean, everything else seems like it's okay. I'm hoping that it'll work. We're going to test that here in a minute. The big progress point that we've made here is a radiator. So this came out of a 1992 Dodge truck, and it was running. So I can verify that it will not leak. How cool is it going to run? Don't know. But it will actually flow coolant. And our radiator hoses should line up. So that's came from a small block, so it should work exactly the same. You can see the bottom hose worked out fine. So what I had to do was actually I got one bolt in a factory location right there, but on the other side, it wouldn't line up just right. So I ended up having to do a self-tapper there, but no big deal. You can see it way down in there. Because I was a little worried on how this was going to work out because these cars had a 26-inch core support because this is a factory air conditioning car. If you didn't have air conditioning, it was a factory 22-inch, and I think you could optionally get a 26-inch. I had a 22-inch, but I couldn't find a 26-inch. So this one worked out, and it should do the trick. I mean, it's from January of 1996, so it's not original. It's a replacement radiator. It's just 29 years old. So no big deal, guys. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. So what we're going to do now is button up some of this stuff. I actually found the factory shroud. When I popped the hood, it was just sitting in there. It's a little too wide, so I'm going to try and just zip tie it in there. But I got to put my fan and the belt on first. So let me button some of this stuff up real quick. We'll check back in just a second. Well, we made some progress. We've got the radiator hard mounted in. We've got our hoses all hooked up. And thankfully, all that worked surprisingly. We zip tied the shroud in. It's kind of janky, and I don't even know if it's going to do anything, but it's going to do something. We've got our fan on, we've got the belt on, alternator, and we got a battery tray in as well. That came off the same truck that had the radiator. I just took 2 self-tappers, and there you go. Like magic, it fits. On the next side, we have to make this thing have some kind of spark. So to do that, we have used distributor. So this costs $25 from our local yard. The cap itself was $5. Each spark plug wire is $1. So that's $38 in our distributor setup. And then this used electronic ignition box was $15. So that's $53 right there to get all this done. And when we took the ignition box, we made sure to get our wiring harness. Super simple to make work. So this is like the easiest thing you can possibly do. So we're going to go ahead and drop our distributor in. And if I remember, it should be on top dead center, I really hope. Oh, there we go. So we have here a Dakota mini starter. Now this one's used. If you go to the junkyard, you can get one for $26, including the core charge. So there goes a little upgrade. It's nicer than what we had before, and it should spin it twice as fast and weigh about half as much.
I love these old starters. I guess they're newer, but these starters are awesome.
Definitely going to need it for our header clearance because there ain't a lot of room in there, is there?
No, not a lot.
Imagine trying to do that with the original one.
You couldn't. There's no way.
Well, the moment of truth has arrived. We stuck our battery in here. This carburetor is an Edelbrock AVS2. Found this on Marketplace for $200, and it was supposed to be a good unit, so hopefully that's gonna work out for us. We've got our ignition module mounted onto the firewall. Got all my wires ran where they're supposed to be. We got a coil right there, but the distributor's in. It needs to be bolted down, but I think everything's gonna work out for us. I mean, I don't know. We'll find out here in just a second, but Briar has ran us a fuel line from our fuel pump down out to here in a fuel hose away from the car as far as possible. This thing's gonna sound pretty mean with some open headers. Check for spark real quick, just to make sure I did it right. I put 12 volts to the ignition box and it clicked, so I guess that means something's right. Now if this spins over, things are good that are happening.
Whoa. Hey, it's firing.
Whoa.
Did it spark or did you see?
I didn't see anything, I just heard a boop. So I said that's good enough. Sounds like late timing to me. So that's what I'm gonna guess.
Is it the headers?
It might be the headers rattling around. Are they touching the torsion bar? I didn't think they were.
Oh, the clamp.
Oh yeah, the collector. I might have to rotate the distributor a hair. So I rotated the plug wires around to advance them. I don't think I was able to get enough of an advance on it. Oh, that's the wrong wire. Oh, something happened. She wants to go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's gonna be loud. Prepare yourself. Sounds good. Sounds like it's hope that that's the collectors making
They're
it.
loose. I mean, they've
Yeah,
been
they're
rattling the whole time we've messed with them.
Yeah. Sounded good, didn't it?
Yeah, it didn't fire right up.
Yeah, once we got the timing right. Well, I'm going to put a light on it just to make sure I got it to where I want it. But awesome. It's a lot of work too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, well, I said we put some coolant in it. Let's get it warmed up. We'll see what it can do once it idles. We're going to run straight water in it just in case it, leaks everywhere. I did have a thermostat in this thing. I probably should have took it out, but,
We still can.
it's a race car. Who cares? So if we get this thing to idle and actually get up to temperature, it's going to sound awesome. Too much timing. We did determine that the noise that you're hearing is the collector flanges. They're vibrating. We can get up under there and hold them still and they quit making that noise. Sounds good. Now it's starting to burn the paint off and stuff. How do the kids do it these days? They go... I love that. Still cool to the touch. Sounds like it's trying to die. Are we out of fuel? No. Full? Maybe she's loading up a little bit. It's idling. Like it's barking at me. Like that. Now, don't it? Yeah. Yeah. That's great. I don't care who you are or what you think. That's awesome. That is the most fun you can have without spending hardly any money. My ears are ringing. I'm going to go deaf by 35, but I don't care. We got an open header cam and small block and a 4-speed Coronet. What more do you need in life? So the hood hinges obviously are, well, they don't work, as you can tell. We got that one to go up actually, so it's at as high as it'll go. We'll try and get this one. That it? It's kind of nice to not care about your paint.
Yes.
Who cares?
Spray it and I'll have to wipe it off.
Who cares? Look what I got. So no joke, this is a 68 to 70 Charger hood, and I bought this thing at a swap meet, a Mopar swap meet, for $50 because nobody wanted it. I bought it from a friend of mine. He's like, I want it gone. I don't want to take it home. Obviously, it's got a lot of rust right here and a lot of Bondo over there. Bought it for decoration and then never hung it up. So I want to at least see if it'll do something. I know it'll work in the back, but the front is kind of where it might be a little goofy. If this works, I might cry. This was your idea, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Got my one in.
Do I have bolts? Oh, I do.
This hood's a lot heavier than the other ones.
Yeah, it is. A lot more metal left in it, ain't it? Hey, there's two started.
I can already tell it's going to be way too long.
Is it? Try and work it back and forth a little bit. Now we're cooking. Yeah. That's so close.
We got to slide it way back too. There's a huge gap.
Oh my God.
It needs to go that way a little bit, but I told you it'd be way long. I don't know if we can do that.
That's so good. Oh no.
I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Briar. Oh,
It was worth a shot. I didn't know a Charger was that much longer than this.
I didn't either. Yeah, it hits the hood here, and is it hitting over on that side?
Yes.
That's it. We don't have anything else.
Yes.
So we almost have to use it, don't we? Ah! Gets the idea, don't it?
Yeah.
It's somewhere in there. This side, I don't know. What just fell off?
I'm sorry, Cornet.
Sir, you can't park there.
It has to be done. Oh, that's close.
That's a long way to go, though. We got a far way. Oh,
Hey, it's
look
poking
at there.
through.
Well, like you said, we can adjust it, I hope.
Hood alignment.
Very nice.
Welcome back to Back on Top of the Car Brothers, first episode of this one. Really excited. I hope I don't have to do this one much, but right now I'm drilling a hole in this hood so that it will maybe shut. Probably not. It's worth it.
Do you feel a little guilty?
Yes, it hurts me this being a Charger hood, but
It could be worse, right?
it could be worse. It'll be close.
That one's lined up right. It just can't shut because it hits the fender right here.
This one's good. Dead on.
Sweet. So we just need to be aggressive with this right here. Well, the U-joint on this thing was bad. We obviously need to replace it at some point, but it was stuck. Briar got it to come loose, and I was able to get the caps off and get them rotating. We're going to replace them eventually, but it'll work just for our testing purposes because we want to see if this thing will drive. But it's been greased. It moves a lot better than it did before. I'm going to slide it in. Well, there's a drive shaft back in, and it works for the most part. So I wanted to check and see what kind of a center section we had. We talked about that Sure Grip, and guess what? There's the Sure Grip tag. And then over here, I know it's going to be hard to see, but that says 294. So that's the original center section. And best that I can tell, never been removed. So to make the clutch work, I found this little piece of rod that O'Reilly sells. And I think it worked. It was like $17 or $18. And I just stuck a washer here, this nut here, and then bolted it to the original Z-bar. So go ahead and mash it, Briar. Looky there. It works. Nice. So now we have a functioning clutch pedal. Well, we've got all sorts of goodies in here. First and foremost, T-handle shifter, because you need that. I bought that at a swap meet for like $5, 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. But now we can shift through all the gears, you know, and obviously be racing because that's, you know, on a legal track or in Mexico. But anyway, we've got two nice little seats. This is a 215/70 R14, and can't remember what flavor that one is, but it'll do. And then when I slide up in here, I had some wiring that I rigged up together. So one of these wires goes over to the coil, and then one of them goes to the battery. So when I connect these two, our coil should be hot. This wire goes to the ignition switch, which goes to our starter solenoid. So when I touch these two together,
It's in gear.
it's in gear. Oh, it is?
It was rolling.
That should be neutral right there. That was weird. Let me push the clutch in. How's that?
How about that?
That's probably smarter, ain't it? I thought it was in neutral the whole
Kind
time.
of scared me. It just took off.
Not moving?
Now it is.
First and second, how about third? Third and fourth. Yeah. Get some of my speed scrub wipes, wipe down the windshield because can't see and it's all nasty on the inside.
Oh, wow.
Hello, it's me.
That's it. That's the ticket.
Basically restored at this point. Surely the parking brake's not holding.
Surely not. Because I thought they were all rolling when we brought it up here.
They were, and it was just rolling a second ago.
Hey.
You know, that's the funny thing is probably all of them look like this. This one just happened to not roll. Ooh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Done.
That's a great pile.
Look at there, like nothing even happened. Perfect. Is that enough to pressure wash?
Oh yeah. I have to say it's tough looking.
Is it?
The wheels in the back really make it.
Well, I've got wheels that match the front. Oh, that looks cool.
Yes.
This is a good side too. That's the problem. What is this? Oh,
No way.
there's a bald spot in the paint right where that's supposed to be.
That's funny.
Done. Restored. Uh-oh. I'm rolling. I'm rolling. With no brakes.
I would imagine so.
It got away from me really quick.
Oh no, fuel tank strap.
Oh! Here, I'll put it in the trunk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's already open for you too.
Yeah, look here. See? Perfect. I gotta see if it'll spin up.
We lost a wheel. This front wheel is not happy.
The wheel?
Yeah, it's doing an S number here.
Is it not tight?
They were tight.
So maybe that's where we quit for today. That was awesome.
That was loud.
I did not expect that to do that at all.
I got pelted.
What have we done?
This car doesn't know what's hit it.
No, it doesn't really. Properly ventilated. Now look. What? That never, ever gets old. No. This is awesome. Yes. Just a little rattly. Yeah. A little? That's how I'm going to drive it. Well, cool. The car runs. It drives. But it doesn't stop. It doesn't have a complete fuel system. Where are we at in this thing? Now, what we have spent so far is $2,094.15. We are skimming it thin because we still have to get wheels, we've got to get tires, we've got to get a fuel system, we have to have brakes, we have so much stuff left to do, and this car is going to really be stretched thin to make that happen. We have a little bit less than $500, so I think we're going to have to start selling some parts off this car just to make it work. So please stick around for part 2 of making this car run and drive. So thank you guys again for your support. If you want to see more of this stuff, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, order a t-shirt and a sticker. Don't forget the Roadsteration decal down in the link in the description below, because all that money goes directly back into stuff just like this. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.